I want to invite Larry up right now. Do you want to say anything, Bonnie? No, thank you. She's going to shove it off. You know what I really love about this today, and what I love about Kay and John, and that is that, these aren't pastors of a church. Larry was never a pastor of a church. Larry was a bank manager in Papua New Guinea when we moved there. And we were able to meet him. He was going to another church in town. And we just became very close. And God put on his heart to open up Port Moresby City Mission. And I'll let him maybe explain a little bit more of that. But we've grown up together. He's been a friend to me, very close friend. When we left, it was hard for us to leave because of people like Larry. We were leaving people like this that... close to us. So God's good. Amen?
Amen. Thank you, Steve. I won't say too much to start with. I think we'll watch the video, if we can play that one first, and then I'll come up and say a bit more, okay?
No problem.
Thank you. I first came to PNG in 1968 as a young bank officer, and over the years I served several terms in the bank up here. My last position was manager of the Bank of South Pacific Port Moresby, and in 1988 I resigned to go and work for the Halfway House at Marata. The Halfway House was a place at Marata run by Pastor Charles Lapa, which took in ex-criminals off the street. And they came into the mission there. They had the criteria was that they had to be ex-criminals, and we would take them in and try and rehabilitate them and help them and train them up and help them find employment. One of the reasons why I started the mission was because there was many youths coming to the Halfway House and asking for help, but they hadn't been to jail. And we said, sorry, we only help those that have been criminals and in jail. So as a result of that, we saw the need to try and be more preventative, and the city mission was formed to try and overcome this situation of youth coming in looking for help and nowhere for them to go and no one to help them.
So you must come one time a day.
Son.
So Mama Papa?
Bad me dina. Bad me no place. I'm not there. Seven kina. Any good time. Good time. Make it 5 kina for
Islam ni masa make one man.
One school na. Ano babla ko coins na. Number really rice na. Gusto mo to.
Gusto ang berusan.
Gusto ang ganala patah. Gusto ang jalo. Gusto interesting sih.
Nah, why gusto man de Mama Papa?
Gusto mo ni sustando mo ni gastando patah.
Why?
Ang lagi may kay guru. Bisa kalau na ito sarani mi na bisa gustante. Sabi ba.
So now you say make one.
Bisa kang kontrol kar dulu.
Mana make car?
Kontrol kar kamu. Tak seperti pramani wanda. Ibrat pa tutugunan ng babay. Raisin din karay ko.
Gusto sa kumplo ba?
Ibrat sa
With the mission to faith-based organisation, we believe in God and in His Son Jesus Christ and what He has done. So that is an integral part of what we do in the mission. Hence our first task is to spread the love of God. And the reason we exist as a mission, as a faith-based organisation, is you see the need and just as God would, you say that's not right. You want to help. And the mission does that. Its main ethos, again, is spreading the love of God. Hence, we're a faith-based organisation, and meeting human need. And we primarily, the mission started doing that with homeless boys, taking them off the street, taking them out of a life of crime, drug, alcohol, and not just rehabilitating, but giving them a vision and a goal for the future, implanting and hoping to implant it in their lives, a dream that says, hey, I can do this, I am of value, and which is a big change, because often they're regarded as less than value. They've been rejected by parents, family, you know.
PNG's got huge problems because there's no social security here, there's no welfare. Many of these kids have had little or no education. We've found this particularly in Lae, that the majority of youth are coming in from villages like Menyama and these areas out in the outback. They're ending up on the streets of Lae with nowhere to live. They've had no education, they've got no hope of getting a job, and they come knocking on our door for help. Once they come into the mission, we put them through a literacy program. We try and teach them basic literacy and numeracy, and then from that they're sent out for casual work, and many times if they're faithful in the casual work, the companies will offer them permanent employment. So we've managed to find a great deal of employment through the help of City Mission, through our contacts with the business community, both in Lae and Port Moresby.
Mipla cambia lo que se walk na, sim lilik sabe o sem liya, time mipla go out. Se mipla go out to City Mission kene mo sem time lo kampai. Mipla walk na mo tam call pa min chede mo sem mo. Leaders po mipla by. Sale mipla go out lo diska mipla company lo, sem mipla by go out lo walk. Mante mo diska mipla company. Mo sem mipla cambia lo sim lilik experience ta son lo. Sem start him when em do mipla. Continue on lo. Yan future.
We currently have about 120 boys out at the farm. So what they do is the boys, we have a fortnightly intake. They come here, they come of their own volition, of their own accord, and we do an interview with the boys, and according to a certain criteria, we take them in. Out at Mirragita we have what we call a program. A program goes for 1 year, and it has 4 phases. So all the boys come through first, second, third, fourth phase, exit. First they have an induction. So they just, like an orientation, they come in, see what's happening, see what we do, and whether they really do want to stay and go through the program. And some of these boys have been so neglected that some of them need to eat for 3 or 4 weeks, just 3 meals a day before all the proteins and things come together in their brain where they begin to actually function and think normal.
Within the 1 month period of induction, we put them into the work areas, and they they rotate from these work areas for 3 days. They stay in one, then move on to one. So after the first month, we put them into organic farming for 3 months, and then that's a phase 1, 3 months, and then we have a phase 2 program, which after the 3 months they are assessed and they're placed into livestock, cooking and baking. We have this casual job thing with pots they are put into. We have a coffee shop, so they are placed into different work areas, and then after the 3 months they are sent into phase 3, which is workshop and carpentry. So it's about approximately 1 year to 3 months, 4 months at the mission.
It used to be a pig-style, this building, and the roof was very low, and they used to look after pigs in here, and they use all sorts of steel to divide the rooms for the pigs and all that. And when the boys came in, they used to sleep in there. There's no change. Everything was just the same, and they just put some something on top of those steels to sleep in it. And mosquito and the snakes and all that is what we changed it into this dormitory. There is no much wind because the roof was very low and no much sunlight coming in, and it was dark. They have so many pigs in here, and they have the dividing wall in the middle. There is 4 dividing walls and walkways, 3 walkways, 1 in there and 1 in here, and the pigs all over the place. And I didn't see the pigs, but pigs were taken out. So this LGL has funded this project up there, so we put up that new dormitory, and so they are moving from here up to that. That was very big help to City Mission and the boys. So boys are now very, very proud to leave this place and they move up to the new dome, and they are really excited.
Samuel, mi blogoroka. Last year, 2009, become a cook in an interview. And become Italia, come garden line some skills training, come livestock, the side law on physical, spiritual, was agora time in Basaloto. But I'm still a big man. So I'm supposed to pass a cambian. Now physical when I walk I'm making so although on again leader go pass and make him before I must run on to mangi dream run on about sleep too. Benol mangi run dream style school too. Train bienal class base run kam na mi kalam sine mosem silakan pasin na milusim na mi says mi kam stalo place per change so silakan pasin do na milusim na mi luluk lo sim narapa life can so mi luluk sta
mi goran mi no megi la goiden mi goran la courses no word side blow competing business course no word na biglo school fee mi no ga don melo prospero side school fee so become there I think Islam second chance lo milo go to life like see when goals na plan lo milo so I think second chance lo milo suppose you want to bata is not said na isto na tini megi sa tina mana bostap making like blue manual making around the street mi askimi una mi begi mi lo kam jol city mission because you can liya by look some life blue by change totally na by look some logo sandim la kam life blue but family blue mas liu Na sometimes by learning some good something. Where you think was man, God, good future blue, good background blue and lagana about come there by look some human. No by some you God future blue. God got plan on life blue. So me skill lo come jalo machine. Na apply ba mi jali landa gol business houses. Sa jubla staff na ibla looking glad interview belum blal boy. Na ibla din lo sponsor banam donation about lagi sali donation kamata because ibla sali kam lo hiya ibla no sali kam lo ibla waksi big name modla bat ibla sali kamata ba ibla God bless him business bibla and money bibla na kagol bibla God bless you bibla abundantly. Thank you.
The main vision for City Mission was to reach out to the homeless and destitute youth on the streets of Port Moresby and subsequently Lae. That was our major role. From there we developed into other areas like child abuse through House Clare and domestic violence. There's so many young cases of young girls suffering incest and this type of thing which come into the centre at House Roof, and many of them we try to help them through the courts, but very few cases ever get to court because usually the family drag them back and they probably go back into the same situation. Our major problem is raising funds, as you've stated. Trying to find the running costs. You can go to people like Oz8 and that now to get buildings and materials and equipment, but nobody wants to fund your running costs. And that's our major problem, trying to find the money to keep the ball rolling here. Paying the wage bill for all our national staff. Currently, I think the mission between Lae and Port Moresby would employ more than 80 staff, and there's only the two expats here, myself in Lae and John in Port Moresby. We'd love to be able to expand around the country, but our biggest problem is finding missionaries to come in and help us. We're continually looking for missionary staff to come and support us because the mission has grown so substantially over the years. And because of our funding problems, we can't afford to pay big expatriate wages and this type of thing. Even the executive national wages now are too high for us, so it's cheaper to find a missionary that comes in self-supporting. If the national government was willing to support and fund the city mission, we could look at opening more city missions in all the major cities around the country where there are problems in law and order. And surely it would be a lot cheaper to fund us than to fund the prisons because it costs a lot of money to keep somebody in jail.